Have you ever found yourself overthinking relationships, wondering if everything is okay when it seems fine? Do you often doubt your own worth, even when others tell you the opposite? This might be more than just self-doubt. It could be a sign that something deeper is at play. Childhood emotional neglect can have a profound impact on our lives, making us more prone to people-pleasing, overthinking, and toxic relationships. In this video, we'll explore what childhood emotional neglect is, how it affects attachment styles, and why it's essential to acknowledge its presence in your life. We'll delve into the subtle yet significant ways that childhood emotional neglect can shape our adult relationships, self-perception, and overall well-being. What is childhood emotional neglect? It's a complex concept that can be hard to grasp. But I want you to imagine growing up in a household where your emotions were dismissed or minimized. Your parents might have been struggling with their own issues, leaving them overwhelmed and unable to respond to your emotional needs. You might recall being scolded for expressing sadness or anger, or having your feelings constantly ignored. This can leave you feeling invisible, unheard, and unimportant. It's not about physical neglect, like a lack of food or shelter, but rather the absence of emotional validation and support. As we explore this topic further, you'll see why understanding childhood emotional neglect is crucial for healing. Because it doesn't just affect our relationships, it shapes our attachment styles, self-perception, and overall well-being. If you grew up in a household where your emotions were constantly dismissed or minimized, you might struggle with intimacy, trust issues, or feelings of inadequacy. It's essential to acknowledge that emotional neglect can be as damaging as other forms of trauma, like physical or verbal abuse. And yet, it often goes unaddressed, leaving deep wounds that can take years to heal. You might wonder how you ended up constantly seeking validation from others, like a parent who always needs reassurance about their own parenting skills. Or perhaps you're the one who's overly critical of yourself, perpetually striving for perfection because your childhood self was never enough. Maybe you've always felt like an outsider in your family, struggling to connect with loved ones despite your best efforts. When we experience childhood emotional neglect, our attachment style begins to shape itself around the void left by our caregiver's emotional unavailability. It's as if we're trying to fill a bucket that's been drained of love and attention. For some, this might manifest as an anxious, preoccupied attachment style, constantly seeking reassurance from others, even when they're not available or reliable. Imagine being a child, always wondering if your parent will show up on time or if you'll get the emotional support you need after a bad day at school. You start to develop a deep-seated fear of abandonment, and this anxiety follows you into adulthood. In relationships, you might become overly clingy or needy, trying to compensate for the lack of emotional validation in your childhood. Others may adopt a dismissive, avoidant attachment style, pushing away others before they can push us away first. It's like building a fortress around yourself, with a "don't get too close" sign on the door. But deep down, you're still yearning for connection and love, even if it means sacrificing your own needs and desires in the process. You may find yourself inexplicably drawn to relationships that leave you feeling drained, unseen, or unheard. The kind where you're constantly seeking validation from someone else's approval. This can be a deeply ingrained pattern, born from childhood emotional neglect. You may have grown up in a household where emotions were dismissed or minimized, leaving you feeling unseen and unheard. As a result, you might have developed a deep-seated fear of expressing your own needs and desires. It's as if you're constantly walking on eggshells, never wanting to rock the boat or upset someone else. Imagine being a child, watching your parents' fights, but being told everything is fine. Or having a parent who's always busy, never making time for you. These experiences can shape our understanding of ourselves and our place in the world. We might feel like we're not worthy of love, attention, or validation, unless we meet certain expectations. But here's the thing. It's never too late to rewrite your story. You can develop a healthier relationship with yourself by practicing self-compassion, setting boundaries, and learning to reparent yourself. This means acknowledging your own emotions, validating your experiences, and giving yourself permission to be vulnerable. Take small steps towards healing by treating yourself with kindness, just as you would a close friend. Be gentle with yourself, especially when it comes to your emotions. Remember, healing is not about erasing the past, but about creating a new narrative, one that honors your worthiness of love and care. As we come to the end of this journey, I want you to remember that acknowledging childhood emotional neglect is not a sign of weakness, but rather a testament to your courage. It takes immense bravery to confront the painful memories of our past, especially when they're linked to our sense of self-worth. You may have been taught to be strong, stoic, and resilient, but what about being vulnerable? What about allowing yourself to feel? By honoring your story, you're not only rewriting the narrative of your childhood, but also forging a new path forward. Think of it like carrying a heavy burden. For years, you've shouldered the weight of others' expectations, suppressing your own needs and desires. But now, you're taking steps to release that load, to acknowledge the pain, to confront the neglect, and to choose compassion over guilt. You are not alone in this journey. Countless people have walked this path before you, and they've emerged stronger, wiser, and more compassionate as a result. Your story is unique, but it's also a reminder that you're part of a larger tapestry, one that's woven with threads of resilience, hope, and redemption. As we close today, I want to leave you with one final thought. Healing from childhood emotional neglect takes time, patience, and compassion, but it's worth it. You've taken the first step by acknowledging your pain and seeking understanding. That in itself is a testament to your strength. Remember that breaking free from the patterns of your past doesn't erase the wounds, but it does give you the power to redefine yourself. You are strong enough to create a brighter future. As we part ways today, I want to invite you to stay with us on this journey towards healing and self-discovery. Consider subscribing to our channel for more conversations like this,